Cameron Leslie, and the crowd helping him, and he is going to chat to Ian Jones, I'm sure, so that's fantastic. And there's a program that is on a Sunday morning regularly, and it's called Attitude, and it's one that I watch every week when I can, and it has featured Cameron Leslie on occasions and other members of our para sports team, as well as people outside of sport. But it's Attitude about people with disabilities, and it is such an inspirational program. And this man has attitude, he has inspiration, and he's a great figure for aspiring young sports people around New Zealand. He's with Ian.
Much, John. Well, Cameron, congratulations. It's a difficult event, I know, but sport at any level is about attitude, and that's what you're showing us here tonight, mate.
Yeah, cheers, eh? It's always hard swimming by yourself in a pool, and especially when it's my main event, but yeah, just happy to have it over.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, I'd love to help you out, but I'm afraid you would have beaten me over the 150 metres, but the crowd's certainly right behind you, and I guess that's a big part of any sport, Paralympics, able-body. It's the people behind you and your network of support that gets you through it.
Yeah, definitely, and especially here tonight, it was awesome to hear the crowd getting behind me. Like I said, it's hard to do it by yourself, and it was awesome to hear everyone cheering me through.
Hey, mate, we've got to have a mention to our other love as well, which is rugby, or your case, wheelchair rugby. It's not just about swimming for you, is it?
No, I also play a bit of wheelchair rugby as well, and yeah, the Wheel Blacks are heading off in a couple of weeks to try and qualify for Rio.
Well, we and the crowd and everyone here in New Zealand so admire what you do, and good luck for qualifying for the Rio Olympics in wheelchair rugby, but also the nominations for swimming.
Cool, cheers.
Great stuff. And we'll hopefully see his name among those when the para swim team is finally announced later in April. Here we go now to a race that we talked about early on, Mark, when we were opening this show from the Sir Owen Glen Aquatic Centre on the North Shore. And this is the women's 100 metres backstroke final. The two swimmers that we're particularly interested in are just coming out here. We can see Gabrielle Famusili, and behind her Bobby Gishard. That's a New Zealand record of 1 minute .22. So to qualify for the Olympics, they practically need to break that New Zealand record. At 16 years of age, they're in the centre of the pool. Gishard was the fastest qualifier this morning with a 1:00.82, and Famusili a 1:01.17.
Well, both of them have broken the New Zealand age group record for 16 years at this meet, and one in the heats this morning, and that was Bobby Gishard, Famusili, and that is Bobby Gishard right in front of us now, and she's the top qualifier. She broke the New Zealand record, age group record this morning. Famusili, which we see now on the screen, broke the New Zealand age group record in the lead-off swim for the 4x100 medley relay for her Hauipaka team. So what a race. Both of them have been recognised internationally and have achieved medals internationally in their world youth age groups.
Lane 3 there, we see Paige Flynn, who was third in the 50 metres backstroke. Way up and down at the bottom, Ebony Maikuku from Jazzy in Christchurch. Isabel Ryan of Oamaru in 7. Bukoff of North Shore in 7. Godwin in 6. Wotherspoon up there in 2. Gina Galloway in 1. And Annabelle Patterson, who went to the Commonwealth Youth Games last year, is in lane 0. Start, so important. God, wow. Blisteringly quick out of the start position in the backstroke and into her work extremely quickly. There is Gabrielle Famusili. You expect her to get away well, and she does.
Yeah, but also I was impressed with the start by Bobby Gishard. She's not let Gabrielle Famusili get ahead of her, or by the smallest amount of a margin. Famusili is so fast. We're looking at a 29 low over the first 50 metres, and they turn. That is 29.16. They are on target. Famusili slightly ahead of Gishard.
30 metres to go. This is the women's 100 backstroke. Famusili has opened up a break. She had a good start. Gishard was with her. Gishard always finishes strongly. Famusili, 15 to go. She's right up against the lane rope. Now Gishard attacks. What a finish we've got here. Oh, they're just going to miss out on that mark, the qualifying standard and the record. And it is 1:00.83. That is a fraction slower than Gishard went this morning. But what a race that was. Faumasili wins it, Gishard second, and Flynn third. And a big smile, but getting so close. They know it's not far away. We know it's not far away for these two outstanding young backstrokers.
Yeah, the Olympics have just come a year too early for them, isn't it? And it was a fantastic, look at that time, 1:00.83 versus 1:00.85. Gishard still holds the New Zealand age group record, which she set this morning, 1:00.82. Wow, when you look at those times, that combination of 1:00.82 is the New Zealand age group record. So it was a fantastic start by Faumasili in lane number 5. Quite a big advantage that she had. She went out really, really fast, probably a little bit too quick, but she looks really good. What a talent. Beautiful stroke rate. Look at it. She's holding it together. The crowd's pretty excited. And then Gishard came back at her. It's all about that touch and the finish.
They'll be teammates for a long time, wearing the New Zealand colours, you would imagine. The B final now. Look at that world record. Gosh, still there at 58.12. Great British swimmer, Gemma Spofford. So the B final with Kate Godfrey, who's already finished second in the 200 individual medley. She starts in lane 4.
Probably better known for the 200 metres backstroke. That's probably why she's in the B final here, because she just doesn't have absolute speed.
No.
Went to the World University Games last year, the 22-year-old from the Neptune Club in Otago.
So it is Godfrey in the centre. Annabelle Simpson is in lane 5, which and she has just next to Godfrey, who's in the bright green that you can see in the centre.
Kyla Alexander in lane number 7 from the United Club, the 15-year-old, going down really well. But now the others are showing a bit more experience. It is Godfrey turning first with a 31.30. So that's a little bit faster than what she went through the first 50. Alexander's still right there, though.
She is. We can just see Alexander down here at the bottom of the screen. She's in second place at the moment. And out in the middle there, we see Kate Godfrey. But the attacks are coming. They're coming out wide, I think. Yes, indeed. It is lane 6, but it is Godfrey who's going to move away with this over the final 25 metres. Alexander just tires a little bit towards the end. She may still feature in the top 3, but Godfrey wins it. Godfrey takes it. Annabelle Simpson and Kyla Alexander were in second and third, not in that order, I don't think, but the winner of the B final is Kate Godfrey.
So confirmation, Kate Godfrey 1:04.01, a full second faster than she swam the heats. Alexander, the 15-year-old, in second position, and Simpson in third. See all that air that the swimmers take down into the water. Just takes a little bit of while for that to clear, doesn't it? And it was a very strong finish by Kate Godfrey. She came off the wall extremely well, using that experience that she's had at the World University Games.
Well, if you've just joined us tonight, we've seen a world record to Sophie Pascoe and 2 qualifying swims, Olympic qualifying swims, to Matt Stanley and Glenn Snyders. Also a stunning solo effort by Cameron Leslie in the para 150 metres medley. He went well under the nomination time for the Paralympics. And now we move on to the men's backstroke 100. The Olympic qualifying time is 54.36, and the man who had the fastest time this morning, the brothers in fact, in lanes 4 and 5, Cornel and Wilrik Kutsia. Cornel 55.88, Willie 56.03. Andrew Trembath will be in lane number 3. I'm sorry, the coughs here. There was Cornel that we just saw. And now we move over to lane 5, and this is Wilrick.
Brothers in
Wilrick is the
arms.
younger of the two.
Yeah, brothers in arms. What a race they're going to have together. New Zealand record is held by Gareth Keane. Gosh, he was a great swimmer, wasn't he? Just outstanding.
Yeah.
That stands at 53.32. Remember, the qualifying time is 54.36.
I saw Gareth Keane in the street in Wellington the other day, and well, the other day, everything seems like the other day to me, but a few weeks ago, and I thought, oh, word, you could still look as though you could get in here and do it.
Very an intelligent young man.
Yep. Into the water they go. So that New Zealand record, 53.32. Olympic qualifying time, 54.36. Going to be shaving quite a bit off personal bests if they're to get there.
So you'll see the ledge that these swimmers are using to start off now. New innovation in the sport.
The Coetzee brothers away very well. Cornell in lane 4 has the better start. Andrew Trembath pretty good too in lane number 3. They're in a line.
I thought Trembath looked really, really good off that start, as did Cornell Coetzee. Both of them very dominant off the first 15, 20 metres or so. We're looking at a 30-point low in the first. Oh, wow. 27.3. This is fast.
This is fast. 27.3.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's
26
about what
maybe lows there. They're coming back now very strongly, and Wilrick Coetzee has up the ante in lane 4. He's looking good. In lane 5, it's Wilrick. In lane 4, it's Cornell. And on the other side, it's Andrew Trembath. We've got the centre lanes, and it is going to be the youngster of the two who wins it. Wilrick Coetzee. He gets it in 56.05. That's good. We can just put up the surnames there. 1 and 2. Coetzee. But W. Coetzee takes it from C. Coetzee in second place, and in third place was that Jackson Crop. I thought Trembath had got that, but Jackson Crop gets it in third place. He does indeed, confirmed at 56.66. So out in 27. And here's the start now. So they both started well. So too did Trembath.
Yeah, Trembath looked really strong off the start. Goes to the wall, he's in second position. Under the water a little bit deeper, Trembath, and again, he broke out extremely well. He was right there at the turn. Great turn on him. But it is William Coetzee that came through strongly to take out the national title.
We go into a bit of silence as we write down these notes. We've got to keep track of this. There we are, getting through this program tonight. We move into the B final, 100 backstroke. Still to come tonight, we have the men's para 200 free, and then the final event tonight, the 1500 meters freestyle for women. Some of those world records have stayed around for a long time too. That one of Aaron Pearsall, the 100-meter backstroke since 2009.
Yeah, the World Championships in 2009, he said that.
Yeah.
Gosh, the Americans have dominated, absolutely dominated the men's 100 backstroke internationally.
See that line up there. Kane follows, the fastest qualifier this morning, a personal best for him. That's follows in lane 4, who starts very well, comes up strongly, but next to him, Callum Prime is the quickest away. Follows, moves up alongside him. Oliver Rayner of North Canterbury is there as well. And over at the top is Jared Curtis of Fairfield.
Well, Jared Curtis looks really good over in lane number 2, just increasing his stroke rate and driving into the wall. But Daryl Follows is starting to get into his work rate now, and he's going to take us through the first 50 metres in a 28.13. Now that's slightly faster than what he swam this morning. A good turn by Follows. He's starting to absolutely dominate this B final. Swam a personal best of 59.11 this morning, and he'll be wanting to better that. Coming up now is Callum Prime in lane number 5 in the North Shore Swimming Club, the 16-year-old.
So Follows has led pretty much from the start. He comes to the wall. He's being challenged, but he's holding his form extremely well. And Kane Follows wins the B final for the men's 100 backstroke. He did a personal best this morning of 59.11. He's gone much better than that tonight, 58.41. So he's in excellent form, considering his concentration is on the national age groups later in the year. So excellent return for Kane Follows, who puts it down to his father chasing him.
He's probably,
himself
to
as
be
a good
fair,
swimmer.
he's probably a better 200 backstroker than he is a 100-metre backstroker. Seems to settle down because of his height and lack of strength at this stage, but a very good swim. That's a good PB. So that was a really, really good start over in lane number 2 by Jared Curtis. But it was Daryl Follows that went through the first 50 metres. Nice underwater there, got deep, drove off the wall really well, broke out strongly. And that was the finish that we just saw of Callum Prime, but it was Daryl Follows with a personal best time to take out the B final.
Well, we will correct it. It's actually Daryl's son, Kane, who's doing the swimming. But thanks, Mark. I know what you meant. Anyway, we're going to a break, but first of all, let's meet another of New Zealand's star para swimmers. That's Rebecca Dubber.
My name's Rebecca Dubber. I'm from the North Shore on Auckland. I'm a Paralympian swimmer, and my main races at the New Zealand Opens will be the 400-metre freestyle and the 100-metre backstroke. A wonderful woman named Sandra Blewett. When I was about 7 years old, my parents found out about a Sunday night swim program that she ran at the Takapuna Leisure Centre. So they took me along, and she kind of taught me the basics and got me up to kind of a level where I could join the North Shore Swim Club. Gary's my rock. We've been working together for almost 6 years now, which is the longest I've ever been coached by one person. Prior to that, I maybe had 2 years max with a coach. And I don't think that's nearly long enough to develop the kind of relationship you need to compete and succeed at this level.
When I first started coaching Rebecca in 2010, I saw straight away there was tremendous potential, and we talked about some targets for London and also for Rio. For the first year, she was on target and everything was plain sailing, really smooth, and then got crippled by some bad injuries, really. The whole program, we just couldn't go anywhere with it, and she did well to even get to London, to be honest, and she swam well below her potential, but we soon found out afterwards what the real problems were.
So London was kind of the precursor to what happened in 2013. For me, that was kind of the big upset for me, was finding out that I'd done quite a bit of damage to my elbows, which needed surgery to correct it, and that kind of put me out for the 2013 season. I lost a bit of confidence, and it took me a while to really get back into training and kind of get to the level that I was at last year at World Champs, and also leading into trials in Rio this year.
What we've been able to do over 6 years now is been build up a trust. I give her a suggestion, try this, I think you'll go well with it, and it works. So then we build a little more and we build a little more, and I think that's probably the key ingredient, is that we've got a lot of trust in each other.
He's really good at grounding me. You know, a lot of the time when things don't quite go right or things are going really well, I need him to kind of bring me back down to earth and realise what it is we're working towards. As swimmers, we can tend to be quite outcome focused, so we'll always be talking about winning a gold medal, or, you know, what have I got to do to win the race? But it's actually thinking about what you have to do to win that race and focusing on the process, and that's something that he's really good at doing and really good at kind of reminding me about, and definitely, yeah, grounding me.
London was stressful because it was the first time for both of us. We didn't, you know, I'd never been to a Paralympics before, and we set targets which, as we got closer, we kind of knew we weren't going to hit for you know, reasons we found out afterwards. But this time, going to enjoy it. It's going to be fun.
What I saw last year at Worlds really excited me because everyone was there, everyone was watching, everyone was cheering, and if we can keep that going through to Rio, you know, I think it's incredible, because something for me that's really important is I think you'll be a lot more successful if you work together and you bring everyone up than you would if you try and do it on your own.
committees have been held throughout the break while we've been here, and several of the swimmers have done so well tonight, including Brian McPherson there and Sophie Pascoe alongside her just in the background. We can see her now setting that world record in the 100 fly. We saw that medal presentation a moment ago going to Matthew Stanley as well. There's been some stunning swims tonight. Ben Snyder's, of course, picking up the gold medal in the 100 breaststroke. So some of the swimmers tonight who've received their medals already, more to come. The presentations being held at various stages throughout the night. But I think with this being also the Olympic trials for swimming as well as the national championships, it'd be ideal to get some comment from Games Chef de Mission Rob Waddell.
Well, thanks very much, John, here with Rob Waddell, Chef de Mission of the Olympic Rio team. And before that, though, Rob, you're also an athlete that's had to front up to a time on a night. How difficult is that?
Yeah, well, it's always the line in the sand, and that date keeps getting closer. And I know for many of our athletes here today, you know, that qualification is all important. And so, you know, there's no hiding from it. It's what you work for, and it's really great to see some of the results that have happened today and yesterday for our swimmers.
Also, then, as an athlete that's had to work so hard, it must be wonderful for you to turn up to the swimming venue, knowing how hard these guys have worked and they're hitting the marks.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think no sport works as hard as swimming. And I've got many of our athletes going to Rio this year in endurance sports, and they put in the miles, they put in the time. So wonderful to see a few of them getting the results tonight.
You've been to Rio, you've seen the facilities, the athletes and the swimmers will be competing in them. Are they on track? Are they looking good?
Yes, there are. There's obviously been a bit of discussion in the media about some of the things that are on track or not. But look, I just got back from there last week, and things are going really well. I think it's going to be a really exciting games. It's going to be the first Olympic Games to be held in South America. So there's a lot of colour and a lot of personality. And the main thing is that I think the field of play will be fair, and athletes will be given the best chance.
You've been to lots of Olympics, both as an athlete and an administrator. Swimming in the first week, they have a real chance, don't they, to set the tone?
Oh, they definitely do, and I know that the hopes are high, but it's interesting, you go around the country now talking to a lot of our athletes. They're very focused on the process, they're focused on what needs to happen first, and that's what tonight's about for selection and qualification for many of them. So that's really heartening to see, because that's ultimately what leads to results.
Okay, thanks very much, Rob. Nice to have you poolside. No doubt when you qualify, that's when the hard work starts.
Oh, it's great to be here. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with a lot of these athletes too. I think we've got an exciting team coming to Rio, and we're very pleased to be working with them.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Very experienced Olympian himself, and in the chef de mission position with what promises to be a wonderful Olympic Games, with so many questions being asked about the place, of course, politically and with facilities. But gosh, Mark, over the years when we've been to Atlanta, for example, and then Greece was never going to be ready, so they said, and Beijing was going to be full of pollution, and now it's the turn of Rio. It's the turn of every Olympic city seems to get so much criticism leading up to it.
John, it's a media beat up every time.
Those media, you can't trust those media.
Look, villages and venues, they're not always 100% completed, but they'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
And the athletes, once they get there, because at the moment you've got nothing to write about, nothing to talk about, so you look for the negativity, but it will be fantastic.
Men's para 200 metres freestyle. 3 starters, we'll look at them in a moment as they get ready to start. Nearest us here in lane 5 is David Beck. He's 19 years of age from Mount Albert Grammar. Tama Soluota, 13 years of age from Howard Pakuranga, is in lane 4, so in the middle of them. And over on the far side in the white cap, that is Dylan Noitzi of St Paul's. So these 3 are swimming the 200 metres freestyle. There is a qualifying time for the S14, so all 3 of them are S14, and that's 2:02.78. But these swimmers have not reached that sort of standard as yet. They're really in their development stages and are here now giving it their best shot in front of a very good crowd, which has been so encouraging to the para swimmers tonight and all the swimmers tonight. So leading at the moment is Tama Soluota of Howard Pakuranga.
Only 13 years of age, so all of them are what they call the S14 category. So these athletes have an intellectual disability.
So we mentioned earlier, and we continue to repeat, just to clarify for for viewers who might just be wondering about it, the sport classes are 1 to 10 is for physical impairment. And the athletes with different impairments compete against each other, so you'll notice that it's not one size fits all or anything. The impact of their impairment on swim performance is similar. That's
they compete against each other at these nationals. When they get international, they don't compete against each other. You compete only
in the same classification.
Correct.
But even so, their impairments look visibly different within no matter what classification. Then the visual impairment. When we talked with Mary Fisher about this, that she needs to wear those special goggles, blackout goggles, because she's an S11, which is the lesser of the 3 classifications. And then we have S14, which is the intellectual impairment, and that's what we have at the moment. S14 with Tama Soloota in the lane 4 leading, Dylan Nutzi of St Paul's in lane 3, and down at the side here in the blue cap, that's David Beck of Mount Albert Grammar.
Tama's doing a really good job. Looks really smooth in the water. It's good technique. Notice his kicks really dropped off from the first 50 metres, but he's obviously fatigued as he comes into the wall and touches with a time of 2:24.13.
It's interesting, we can go back to 1960 when swimming was introduced as one of the 8 sports held at the first International Paralympic Games in Rome.